cloudy skies at our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Outside our 12 studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. Finally, a quiet weather morning. You know, yesterday morning was pretty quiet too, nothing going on, but then we had the heavy thunderstorms late in the day yesterday into yesterday evening. We're expecting a lot less activity though today. Now, we can't still rule out a few isolated showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon, but nothing like what we had last night as far as the coverage or intensity, because the atmosphere is a lot more stable. The heavy thunderstorms we had last night stabilized the atmosphere quite a bit, so we're not expecting near the activity we saw late yesterday. Over in Lake Charles, they had some thunderstorms yesterday evening as well. They're under partly cloudy conditions with temperatures up over there running in the mid to upper 80s. We'll top out in the lower 90s, and yesterday we had some mid to upper 90s across southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. That was another contributing factor to the heavy storms we had yesterday evening. Was the heat. Got up to about 96, 97. Not as hot today. We'll be in the lower to middle 90s coming up. But bottom line is the atmosphere is much more stable than what we saw this time yesterday. There was some 1-inch rainfall totals in a few spots. The main thing was the hail we had in Orange County. Had some wind gusts to 60 miles an hour across parts of Orange County, and some 1-inch rains here and there, which helped. Didn't help, it didn't end the dry spell, but it certainly helped because we're very, very dry. We still are dry, but probably going to have to wait a few more days for those rain chances to increase again. Our Roofing 911 Skycam network up in Jasper, sponsored by Vervalis. Lakes area kind of missed the showers and thunderstorms late yesterday, unfortunately, and unfortunately, you're going to have to wait probably till the middle of next week, probably Tuesday, before we see our next good chance of showers and thunderstorms as a strong upper level disturbance comes in from the north. But there'll be a few isolated ones out there this afternoon. And our camera over in Orange, sponsored by the Horseman's Western Store, partly cloudy skies. And Orange was one of the areas that got hit pretty good yesterday with some power outages, had some quarter-size hail, some wind gusts, 55 to 60 miles an hour, and certainly lots of lightning over in Orange. They had a little over 1 inch of rain over there. Believe it or not, there were a few areas even in the triangle that didn't see much yesterday evening. A few areas, not many. There was a few, but a lot more stable this afternoon. And then beginning tomorrow, we'll have some slightly drier air working in from the east. So at least for the next few days, the rain chances a lot less than they were late yesterday. And then they'll start picking up again as we head toward the middle part of next week, let's say Tuesday into Tuesday evening. Our Roofing 911 Skycam network here in Beaumont, sponsored by Packard LaPrade. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. We started out this morning, of course, we had the rain cooled air in place yesterday evening and last night, so we were able to get into the upper 60s in a few spots this morning, especially just outside of Beaumont, some upper 60s to lower 70s in and around Beaumont. And we'll top out, as we said, probably lower 90s. Not as hot today as it was yesterday either, so that's good. Get a little break from those heavy storms we saw. And outside our 12 studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing, partly cloudy skies as well. At least things will be a lot less active coming up later today. Temperatures, they're pretty warm. 85 Lake Charles, 83 in DeQuincy, 83 here in Beaumont, 85 Port Arthur. Orange always running a little bit warm. That temperature sensor there runs a little bit high, probably in the more like the mid 80s. 87 in Kirbyville, 86 in Jasper. So a warm Thursday morning. Now out west, the Houston area, they didn't get any relief from thunderstorms yesterday. They were partly cloudy and very hot, so they need the rainfall pretty badly out there as well. And your allergy report. Well, that tree is still in the medium, so is the grass and the mold. Of course, the ragweed, not very good, way up there in that high, probably not going to change much. It don't look like over the course over the next few days. Hopefully some improvement in that over the weekend. Satellite radar across the region, things are quiet the way we like it. We don't want any heavy storms like we saw last night. Things are a lot less active, not much going on, just a few showers just northwest Oklahoma City, a little disturbance there, but most of the state under clear skies this morning. Very, very nice. Over into Louisiana, mostly clear skies, just a few high clouds across portions of western Texas. A few showers well to the south of New Orleans, upper level low out there in the Gulf. Things really quiet across much, look at that, much of the southeast. Very quiet this morning. There is some drier air, by the way, Of course, we'll talk about this in just a moment. There is some drier air off to our east that's going to be working in by tomorrow. So this afternoon, maybe a few isolated storms later today. Not expecting much of anything tomorrow or Saturday. Then the moisture starts increasing on Sunday, where we'll have a 20% coverage in. And we'll see an upper level disturbance come in from the north on Tuesday morning of next week, giving us a pretty good shot of showers and thunderstorms. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast this afternoon. Mid to upper 80s at 1 o'clock. Of course, it'll get a little bit warmer than that. Probably looking at lower 90s this afternoon. Notice not a lot of shower activity expected today. The atmosphere was really worked over yesterday evening by the heavy showers and thunderstorms we had across southeast Texas. It will be partly cloudy this afternoon into early this evening. Then it will become mostly clear overnight tonight. Could see a little bit of a patchy ground fog again as well. And as we head into the evening, by 10 o'clock, 74 degrees, mostly clear skies. Some patchy ground fog will be possible. Otherwise, it'll be mostly clear. And as we head throughout the morning hours into your Friday, it's going to be comfortable temperature-wise. The atmosphere is more stable. The ground's still a bit wet. There's some patchy ground fog in the morning. Some mid to upper 60s, not out of the question in the lakes in the morning, and in the upper 60s here in the Triangle. So not a bad start at all to your Friday. The weather looks good for a Friday night football again tomorrow night as well. That'll be the 4th week in a row. We're not expecting any rain for Friday night football. And temperature is very pleasant, as we said, and wake up. Let's see what happens throughout the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy for your Friday. I think the best chance of rain tomorrow is going to be north of our viewing area. Let's say northeast Texas, the Longview area, on over toward Texarkana, Shreveport, a little disturbance working south, but that activity should weaken before it reaches southeast Texas. You can see maybe a little outflow boundary there coming down from the north late in the day. But once again, we have drier air. It's going to be coming in from the east tomorrow too. That activity should stay north and weaken before it reaches the lakes area and the Triangle coming up late tomorrow. We should see highs again tomorrow, looking at the lower 90s across the area. You know, showers or two popping up. Once again, the coverage today, 10%, probably 10% or less coming up for tomorrow. And out in the tropics, this is the way we like it. Nothing in the Gulf, nothing in the Caribbean. Of course, we have some activity in the Atlantic. That's going to be no threat to the United States at all. Very disorganized tropical storm. And of course, we're also watching a couple of waves way out in the far eastern Atlantic, but none of these are expected to affect the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico. And that is great news as we head toward the latter half of September. We're just about there, just about there. I think we're going to make it this year. I really do. So that's good news. In fact, there's Gabrielle, very disorganized out in the central Atlantic. Winds are still running at around 50 miles an hour, some gusts to 65, if that. That's poorly organized. It'll stay out to sea, turn north and northeast, and be no threat to the U.S. East Coast. Notice where all the thunderstorms at associated with Gabrielle. There's the center. Some storms to its southwest, way off to its northeast, so there's no doubt about it. It's encountering wind shear. That's pretty obvious to see there, and that's good, but it'll stay out to sea regardless. Not even going to affect the U.S. mainland at all, so that is some great news there. All right, let's take a look at our marine forecast this afternoon. It's not bad either. We've had light northerly winds this morning. They'll become variable east to southeast later this afternoon to eventually south up to about 10 knots. That water temperature at 89 degrees. Now for the rest of the day, partly cloudy skies. An isolated shower or thunderstorm is possible this afternoon. The coverage only around 10 to 20% or so. Pretty light winds becoming southeast later this afternoon. And we're talking at high temperatures in the low 90s, 92, 93. Remember yesterday we had 96s and 97s. We were a lot more unstable yesterday than compared to today. So it will not be near as active later this afternoon. So that's good news, because a lot of, when you have temperatures getting up into the mid to upper 90s like we had yesterday, and we had plenty of moisture in place yesterday, those thunderstorms get pretty rough, and we saw that. That was a legit severe thunderstorm over Orange late yesterday. Had some wind gusts right around 60 miles an hour. Now, as we head into tonight, mostly clear overnight. Looks good. Now, the last couple of mornings, we've seen a little bit of patchy ground fog, a little bit there. That is possible again tonight. Mostly clear, no rain expected. I'm thinking 60s again in the lakes when you wake up Friday morning. That'll be nice. Wouldn't be shocked to see a 68, 69 around Deweyville, Mauriceville, and Vidor. Not out of the question. We saw it this morning. No reason we won't see it again. And also we'll have some drier air working in from the east beginning tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. An isolated shower or thunderstorm is possible this afternoon. Less than 10% tomorrow. No rain expected Saturday. Weekend overall looks pretty good. It'll be hot, but 20% widely scattered showers back by Sunday. So keep that in mind if you have any plans in the outdoors. Now that does jump to a 30% coverage on Monday. Moisture starts returning ahead of an upper level disturbance that comes in Tuesday. We'll have a 60% coverage of showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday. Pretty good little upper level disturbance coming in from the northwest, and behind that will be a weak front. Right now we've got it dry for Wednesday as some drier air works in. We'll have highs a little bit better, upper 80s, lows near 70 coming up by next Wednesday. So looking pretty good as we head onto that. So much needed rain we still need, and it looks pretty good as far as rain chances go, especially beginning Monday and especially on Tuesday with a 60% coverage coming up there. Don't forget you can send us a text. Let's pull up that number. And you can send us a text at 409-749-9302. We'll check the phones and see if we have anything that's come in this morning. The weather's pretty quiet, not a lot going on. Nope, no questions so far this morning, but if you have a question or comment concerning the weather, do that at 409-749-9302. But I can tell you, if we go back to that 7-day forecast, that it looks pretty good going into the weekend. It really does. We'll have temperatures in the low 90s, lows at night right around 70 tonight, and tomorrow morning pretty nice. A little bit of patchy ground fog. Overall, the weekend looks dry, but 20% there though on Sunday afternoon. There'll be a few widely scattered showers in the forecast there, and then 30%, which is scattered on Monday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, 30-40% Monday, and then a 60% coverage on a Tuesday. And then don't forget, of course, this afternoon we'll have that 10% coverage of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. The weather's pretty quiet, not a lot going on. We're in great shape with the tropics, so that's good news. And of course, the rest of the afternoon will be partly cloudy, low 90s for highs with a few isolated showers possibly later today. Most areas will not see a drop though today, and won't see a drop again until probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. Highs will be in the lower 90s across the area. You can see Futurecast popping out one or two little showers here and there. Not a big deal though. And temperatures tonight dropping on down into the upper 60s. Be a nice start to your Friday morning. A little bit of patchy ground fog here and there. You can see that as well forming later tonight. And as we head throughout the morning hours, patchy ground fog, mostly clear. Those temperatures in the 60s coming up for tomorrow morning. So a nice start to your Friday. And then as we head into the afternoon, partly cloudy with temperatures in the lower 90s with a less than 10% coverage of showers coming up for tomorrow afternoon. So not a bad forecast there. And of course, couldn't ask for better news in the tropics whatsoever.